Hey, what's going on, y'all? I really just wanted to come on here and talk. I just finished my morning routine. I haven't even eaten yet. Um, but I had something that I really wanted to share and it was really like heavy on me. So I've been thinking about attachment a lot. And just attachment to the ideas or the idea that I have of who I am or who I should be. And basically, okay, so let me tell you how this started. As all of you know, or you may not know, I'm an avid user of ChatGPT. I love ChatGPT just to get clarity on my ideas, help me kind of figure things out, whether it's I'm writing or whatever it is that I'm doing. I like to use ChatGPT as sort of like a reference point, and given that it has a library of so much information to help me refine my ideas, right? Or plans or just details for different things. So with this path that I've been on, I've been very focused, locked in. I've been posting a lot, at least 4 times a day on TikTok as of late, and just really been into this groove. But I was on TikTok. I was on TikTok the other day, and I've also been using this app that's helped me limit like the time that I spend on social media. So I barely even get into, I barely even scroll. But I had found some time to scroll, and I came across this page where it gives you prompts basically to put into ChatGPT if you are somebody that is an avid user. And it'll basically, like, my prompt specifically was, or the prompt that I like gravitated towards was, describe the ideal version that I have of myself, then describe the habits, thoughts, and energy that is keeping me from living in this desired state. And one of the things that really stuck out to me was, and this isn't verbatim, but it was basically talking about me being somebody that holds myself to a high standard based on the people that I have inspired, based on the thing that they've done, and wanting to live up and potentially surpass that standard. I procrastinate because I feel that if I'm not there yet, then I should not put my work into the world, when it's really about the collective effort of everything that you do to get to that point, right? And I was like, wow, because I do hold myself to a very high standard, and I do notice that pattern within myself. It's like, if it's not exactly how I want it to be, I won't do it, or I keep jumping to something different, hoping that it will give me or bring me to that idea of perfection. And perfectionism is something that I talk about a lot on my other social media platforms, like such as TikTok or my short form, and understanding that you don't have to be perfect. But it didn't really even hit me until I was just sitting there thinking about it. Another thing is, Drake has this quote from an interview he did a while ago, like at least like over 10 years ago. He did it with Elliott Wilson, and he was talking about, on the way to like you get to where you're going, you have to disconnect from the end goal. But it really didn't just hit me until I was just sitting there, and I was like, wow, I've allowed my attachment to this ideal version that I have of myself to keep me in a procrastinative state, or like in a state of procrastination, because with the attachment being so heavy to that belief or that version of myself, I'm not allowing myself to be seen as like not that version, and I think it's very paralyzing to somebody who is a creative and somebody who wants to create and has the drive to create, because you're constantly measuring yourself to that version in terms of the outcome. Now, I do think that you should measure yourself in terms of the habits of that person and understand, okay, what would they do? But you may not be at a state where you can produce that exact outcome. So to hold yourself to that standard is paralyzing, and it's crippling, and it's keeping you small, and it's keeping you from even taking action, because everything you do take action on, or for me, the things that I do take action on, I would draw them back because I feel that they may not have been good enough. Granted, I think I have a good balance of this, which is why it hit me hard, but I can imagine it hitting harder for somebody else who is just completely inoperable. It doesn't take any action. Me, I pride myself on taking action. I could definitely do more, which is why I've been trying to pump out more and write more and just do things at a higher volume, and just allow myself to get better within the process. But to somebody who is totally stagnant by their procrastination and their attachment to this version of themselves, it can be very triggering. And I think that if you are somebody like this, or at any level, wherever you exist on this spectrum of procrastination to action taker, understand that there needs to be a certain level of detachment practice as you move towards that ideal version. Because if you're trying to navigate towards this goal and you only feel that there's one way that it should be done based on the standards that have been set by other people, not only are you stripping yourself of your own authenticity, but you're limiting your ability to experience everything that is possible for you to happen. You know, you're limiting the chance for the story to be great for you. You're trying so hard to write this great story, but you think it has to be written. You're forgetting you're actually in the story. Like, you are the character in the story, so you're trying to craft this perfect narrative around getting to where it is that you want to go. But I think by doing this, you're creating a bland life for yourself, and it's not fulfilling, because if you already understand exactly how the story is going to go, it's not going to be enjoyable. And now you're setting yourself up to live a life that isn't enjoyable for you. Like, you should enjoy your life. Granted, we create for the evolution of ourselves and for the evolution of everybody else that comes in contact with our work. But if you are somebody that is like living your life, you should enjoy it the most. I think that I don't want to ever find myself in a place where I'm suffering in my own life just to appease the needs of anyone else. You know, I want to make sure that I'm keeping myself as a priority, and I want to inspire other people that come across my work or whatever it is that they come across what I do. I want to inspire them to live in a similar manner. And I think that by me having this discovery, I understand that, okay, I know I want to be this. Like, I see myself, you know what I'm saying? I see myself in this grand version. Like, I have it on my wall right here, which is crazy. I'm not going to show you all that because that's some personal shit. But I have this like version of myself. I'm looking at it right now. And honestly, I look at it before I do anything. I look at this. I have like 2 pictures right here. I gotta put a third, but I be on some lazy shit sometimes, and I just gotta. I actually haven't even figured out what I want that third image to be. But there's a picture of me, and then there's a picture of like these milestones that I wish to achieve, and I kind of like choose to operate from that level of the perspective of it already being achieved, you know. And I have a picture of myself on the wall, just like aggrandizing myself within my mind to live up to a higher standard. But I had to realize I can't be so attached to that version, because if I'm attached to things being exactly like that, then I don't allow myself to experience the joy. And I sort of had this revelation during my fast, and I was like, you know what, I just have to set the intention and let things flow and understand that things are going to work out for me, you know. And I tell myself this all the time, things are going to work out for me. Like, things work out in my favor. These are things you have to sort of implant within your mind, because a lot of times you don't even realize that you don't believe this about yourself. And 9 times out of 10, you have a disposition based on the experience that a lot of us have within the world. We have a disposition to think that things are not going to work out. For example, you may be going through a period where things are going good. On the other side of that, you are expecting negative to happen, you know, which is not all the way inaccurate, because life is about polarity and rhythm. But understanding that you have the ability to sort of polarize yourself and neutralize yourself at a space where you can be focused on the good things, and you'll start noticing the signs appearing within your life, and then you'll start noticing miraculously opportunities coming your way that are in alignment with this version that you've created of yourself, and that'll lead you to that version, you know, coming from places that are unexpected. But I really just wanted to make this video to get that out, also to get more of my creative flow for anybody who's watching this channel. This is the Nick's Journeys channel. I also need to start getting more involved in my Purple Era channel. I've been doing grassroots, and I like it. And I think that has a potential to be like very, like, something special. Like, I know it has something, it has a potential to be very special. Ultimately, bro, I just want to continue to create. Continue to evolve myself. You know, I realized I had to stop putting so much pressure on myself, and going back to what I was talking about, I need to enjoy my own life. And also being somebody who comes on here, I was thinking about this as I was walking through the grocery store yesterday, and I was like, you know, I pride myself on being like a thoughtful person. Or I don't know, I think I pride myself on being a thoughtful person. I think I do. Because I'm still learning to kind of understand who I am, like understand my mind and how these things work. I have an idea of who I am and who I want to be, but there's still a level of like, why though? Like, why do you, like, you know, like, it's, I never want to get to a point, and I'm already at the point where I realize I don't know everything, but I have to remind myself, like, bro, you don't know everything. And I think that acknowledgement of a lack of understanding in a lot of areas, you know, there's a lot of things I don't know about, you know. As much as I come on here and I sound intellectual, there's a lot of things I don't know about, and I have to continue to be a student to understand that I can consume things that can help me become a better person. You know, I'm not at the point, I'm not as like a, you know, I'm not like, you know, I'm not perfect. I'm not perfect. And neither are any of you watching this. None of us are perfect. So we have to open ourselves up to constantly being in a student-like frame of mind or frame of existence, to having a goal that we want to accomplish. You know, you go to school, if you're in school right now, your goal is to graduate, but you don't go to school every day and just like not take any instruction. You take instruction from people who have graduated, gone on to seek higher levels of that information, that now come back to you and give you the information and give it to you in a way that can help you advance towards your desired outcome, which is why we call them teachers. You know, and I guess I pride myself on being a teacher, but I'm still a student. You know, like I'm still a student of this whole life thing. I'm still a student of this game that we're all in, you know. So I have to open myself up and not be so closed off to not learning new things or experiencing new things, and also practicing a level of humility to be able to listen to somebody who is further along in their journey, or even and that isn't about age. It isn't even about age. Like, I think there's a lot to be learned from like kids. I think I like, when I think about like my little cousins and I play with them, or like I talk to them, they give me like a different perspective on life based on how they see the world now in their time. It's like we came up in a different time. You know, I was born in the 90s and really was raised in the 2000s. We came up in a totally different world. So to have a mindset that was built during that time is totally different. When I'm talking to my little cousins or like my nieces and nephews, and I hear what they have to say about whatever it is that they're dealing with, and it's like, wow, you know, you have a fresh perspective about life, because life is totally different for you than it was for me, you know. So I have to understand that. I have to understand that life at its different stages are different for people who grew up in a different time. You know, I think that's why a lot of us have had friction and face friction with in relationships with our parents or our elders, because they think they get locked so much into what life was for them, and they think that life is the same now. Like our parents didn't grow up in an area, in an age or a time of artificial intelligence where you can use these different platforms to advance your mind, your life, your cause, your financial situation, whatever. So there's a lot of different things that they don't understand. But I mean, not even but like, so a lot of people just allow themselves to be locked into how things were in their time. I think that's very detrimental to like one's life, because you are limited. It goes back to what I was saying about you being so rigid and not allowing yourself to experience everything that life has to offer you. Because as technology advances, as the minds of people advance, as everything advances, we advance as a society. As things advance, we have to allow ourselves to continuously be open to the new advances, so that we may continue to advance ourselves. Because if you don't allow yourself to advance, given the times that you're in, based on the information that is around you, you are now limited, and you're now going to be a part of the gap on the downward end of the advancement and the decline of society, mentalism, intelligence, everything. You know, like there's a polarity with these things. So as things get higher, things get deeper, you know, and you don't want to really find yourself at the deep end, because it's not really too much going on down there. And that's where rigidity exists, that negative end of that spectrum. But on the positive end, that openness, that humility to be able to experience new things and to learn, I think that's where we should all strive to exist and try to exist there, you know, at that end of it. Yeah, I just wanted to come on here and make this video. I haven't even eaten breakfast yet, a breakfast that I've been looking forward to all week. I've been working. I work like 60 hours this week at my job or whatever. And I'm gonna make another video about this, because they didn't necessarily piss me off, but fuck it, I'll just do it right now. Basically, I work seasonal at this job, right? Whatever. I work seasonally. So I come back for the summers. They give us a time slot that we're gonna work. It usually goes until like September, October. It usually goes to October, but when I was going to school, I would always use the excuse of I'm going back to school, so I would leave early, right? So today, or 2 days ago, August 15th, today is the 16th. So 2 days ago, August 14th, they let everybody know that was seasonal, that this was going to be their last week of the season. Mind you, the season was supposed to end October 15th. That's 2 months away. That's a whole 2 months away. So like me, I wasn't even like, it threw me off, and it kind of, it made me angry Not in a sense because I was relying on the job, because I was also frustrated last week that I was making more money outside of that job than at the job. I was spending too much time at the job and I was making more money outside of the job. But I was thinking about that's so fucked up, because there are people that have they've dedicated or like set aside this certain amount of time, understanding that they are delegated to this task of working at this job for this amount of time. Then for you to just like with no warning, like nothing. This is, for a lot of people, that day was their last day. And I was like, that's like fucked up. Like, it's really like with these jobs and shit, bro, it's really like, that's fuck. Like that fucked me up, bro. It fucked me up because I don't know everybody's situation, but that's just fucked up. You don't do that to people. You don't spring shit like that on people, bro. And that shit it really like threw me off. But I also looked at it as a sign. I also really I was grateful that it happened that way, because I'm like, okay, this is a sign. I need to focus on me. I need to focus on building something that, is in my control, something I can manage and delegate tasks towards, because obviously these jobs, bro, they don't give a fuck about you. Like, that was so wrong. Like, it was just so wrong to me. It's like, damn, y'all just gonna let people know like 2 months before they're supposed to be out. Like, people, people have kids and shit. I don't have any kids that I'm responsible for or family to look after. But I think, bro, that's just fucked up. You can't do that to people. I didn't like that at all. I thought that was, I really thought there was some bullshit. I was real life some bullshit. I ain't gonna hold you. That was some bullshit. Real shit. But, bro, I just took it as a sign, like I need to develop something else. So I was like, okay, my mind ever since that day has been on some create, bro. Create your thing, create your life, create the thing that is going to not only sustain you, but allow you to thrive as you continue to help other people do the same. That's what I feel like I'm supposed to be doing. So that's what I'm gonna do. Getting more locked into that and just like really getting on some grown man shit. You feel me? Like getting on some grown man shit and actually doing my thing. Like I need to be doing my thing and not so much doing somebody else. I was about to say some crazy shit. I need to be doing my thing and not doing somebody else's task for them. Like, nah, that ain't really the move. That ain't it. It fucked me up. But like, I still, I got my 60 hours in. Check gonna be straight on the next couple of them, like as we kind of transition out of it, because I got one more week left. But it was just like, damn, like that is really on some, that's fucked up. I ain't like that, and I thought that was some bullshit. But yeah, fuck it. It's nigga's journey, so I gotta give y'all everything that's going on. You feel I gotta give you everything that's going on with a nigga. But yeah, bro, so back to the original point of what the video was about. Detach from that outcome. Understand what it is. I'm not saying don't understand what it is. Understand what it is completely. Set the intention that that's what it's going to be, and allow yourself to grow towards that, to grow towards it, and be okay with the unexpected. That's what I'll say. That's what I want you to take away from this. Be okay with the unexpected, because the unexpected is a blessing. Because a lot of times when you detach, things can be greater than you ever imagined. And that idea you had that you thought was as great as it could be, 10 times greater than that. 10 times greater than that. I promise you. So thank you all for tuning into this channel. Thank you all for being with me on this journey. Thank you all for doing your part. If you're somebody that is watching this channel, I hope you're going at whatever time, whatever time you're watching this, I hope you're somebody who's not only taking this information, taking these experiences and consuming them, but I also want you to take action in your own life. And I want you to go out and create something that you can benefit from, and that the people can benefit from, and that will bring you true fulfillment and the acknowledgement of your own greatness, wherever that may be at that point in time. Detach from that end goal. You will get there. Have faith in that and understand that things will work out for you if you believe them to happen that way. If you believe that it'll happen that way. But just, embody your own greatness right now. Don't set it off. There'll never be a perfect time. So I thank you for watching this channel. I thank you for being with me on this journey, and I thank you for being great in your own unique right. I am Nick Johnson, aka your favorite cousin. Your favorite unemployed cousin. These niggas just said you ain't got, these niggas just said you got a week left in this motherfucker. You got a week left in this motherfucker till next year. Okay. Well, watch what I do till then. I'm Nick Johnson, aka your favorite cousin. And if I haven't already, I officially welcome you all to the Purple Era. I will catch you on the next one.